I am going to say hello again and welcome to Buzzin' with Barb. My name's Barb Ryder, Stampin' Up! Independent Demonstrator. Hi Taryn and Shar and Peggy, Pam, Carol, Sue, a lot of you I've seen. I'm so thankful that you guys share this with your friends so they can see. And here's another tip I found, is that when you see my event pop up in your feed, if you will click going or interested, what happens is that helps it get out to other people that are looking at different events. So that's another way that you can help me build my business, is clicking, and even if you're not going, even if you're get it in your feed, click interested, and that will help a ton. It will help me so much. I would appreciate that. Well, hello there, Deb. Thank you all for being here. I know that you're going to enjoy some of the tips that I have for you tonight. And thank you again for those of you that ordered for the beautiful lavender free card kit. And those will be on their way shortly. I had finished up all of the blessing boxes. I finished the video for the blessing boxes. And they'll just be a color tutorial with measurements and things for those of you that did get that first month of my club. Now, the next club, the next month's club for February, I'll be announcing what that will be pretty soon. And you can sign up anytime. And I also have a link that you can just go right to PayPal. I'll be sharing that also in an email. So, who else just joined? Well, hello, Margaret. All right. Well, let's get started. I know we were on here a little longer last Thursday, but tonight we have 2 projects. So, thank you again, everyone, for sharing the video, and I sure appreciate this. If you're on YouTube, make sure to give me a thumbs up. That helps tremendously in getting that out to other people and their search engines and all that good stuff. Technology is, it can be a love-hate relationship, right? Okay, let me turn down the TV. Yeah, I'm looking at myself because I can see myself and it looks like I'm on TV. So that just popped in my brain. So let me turn the camera down and so you can see my hands, and we'll talk about what we're going to be doing for this evening. Hi, Jean, welcome. I hope you guys laugh with me when I laugh at myself, because how can you not, you know? Anyway. All right, here we are, and I am still right up here in the corner, and I wanted to point out this is the current host code right here. So if you do order anything, actually you can click the link that is in the description that I gave you, and you would need to use the host code, enter that when you put in your online order. If you're not happy and don't want to use the online system, you can contact me. I'll put the order in for you, and it'll come right to you. Especially if you're not local, I'll have it sent right to you directly. All right. Thank you for those that just jumped on. So what I have in front of me is I have the annual catalog. Okay, here's our annual catalog, and my light's shining brightly. There you go. But I want to talk about these 2 pages right here in the annual catalog. Page 96 and 97. All right. Now, we have these catalogs. We love looking through our catalogs, marking the pages, highlighting off the stamp sets that we have. Actually, I see this one is not highlighted, but I have this one. And the reason that I came to this page, first of all, we're going to be using this stamp set in one of the projects tonight. It's called Go To Greetings. This is an amazing, what do I want to say? Stamp set with all these different fonts. It has the same word in different sizes and different fonts. This is a must-have in your stamping collection. Now, at the same time, this stamp set right here, it actually coordinates with a punch that it says coordinates with the bow punch that you can purchase separately. It's not a bundle, but these also are some beautiful fonts, multi occasion words. So this is another one that I would say is an amazing set to have in your collection. Another thing I want to point out, if you aren't aware, Shar says, "Go to greetings, my most favorite set." It is. It's really nice. Well, hello, June. Nice to see you. This little icon right here, if you look in your catalog, you'll see this. Now, what this is this recognizes demonstrators that have been stamping long enough or have made enough sales, whether they purchased it or they had classes or whatever the case may be. They might be here a demonstrator for 30 years, or their company is 35 years old now. So maybe they've been in the company for 35 years, and it took them that long to hit $1 million in sales. That's what this little logo or icon means, is that this is $1 million achiever, and less than 1% can achieve that within the company. And I tell you this for a couple reasons. They have a specific, they get to help design a stamp set or have high influence on how a stamp set is designed. So these are stamp sets created by demonstrators that have hit this milestone. And they're amazing stamp sets. So if you've never paid attention to these little things in the mini catalogs or in the main catalogs, take a look. Flip through your catalog and find that. So that's one little tip I wanted to share with you. Again, we're going to be using this sentiment for tonight. So I'm going to put this, I'll bring this out in a little bit. All right. So the first card we're going to do, I am going to pull out this detailed dogwood. Okay, there it is. It's at $100 level. Right now we have our 2024 celebration, which is for every $50 in product before shipping and tax, you can choose items in this catalog, okay, through January and February. Now, this is at $100 level. I hope that you will enjoy the creation that I've come up with for this card. So, yeah, I think this is different. I've not seen anything like this, and I'm hoping that you're going to like it. So that's what we're using also for tonight. You will notice that it coordinates with the Petal Park Builder Punch. It's got 3 flowers here, but I am going to show you a tip, because something I found when I was playing with this, that I had to do something in order to make this work the way that it needed to work. Well, hi Elaine, thank you so much for sharing and welcome and being here. Hi Jean, I think I missed you, I don't know, but I'm glad you're here. I got Jean, June. Anyway, all right, so let's get started with the first card. Okay, so here it is up close and personal, not in the catalog, right? And there's no words in here, you can see that, but I think this pairs beautiful with the go-to greetings, okay? So we are going to use this long piece right here, and we're going to use this flower and the leaves along with the punch that I talked about. This is the punch that coordinates this flower right here. This one is the one that coordinates with this stamp right here. Now, I can tell you this, you could still take this punch, you could stamp this right here, and then use this punch, and then you would still get you would get a similar look as this, except more of where you can color in, where this is solid, where it is more whatever color ink you use, if that makes sense. So, all right, so I'm going to stick this over here. So here's what we have. We're going to go with vanilla for our card tonight. And we are using Moody Mauve. And we are using Garden Green. Okay, those are the 2 colors that we're going to be using. All right, I'm going to put those up here in my little pad. You'll notice I have the glass mat again. I'm getting used to using this more, and the way I have myself positioned, I think it works out pretty good. Now if I lift this up, you can see my lights are showing, but look at that, it works. It's strategically placed. So it works, right? Okay, post-it notes, those are a necessity for tonight's card. And so what do I have? I have basic vanilla. Actually, I think this is a piece of thick vanilla, and it's 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. Or you just fold it and use your bone folder and crease that crease there. Next, I have a piece of vanilla, regular vanilla, 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm giving you these measurements. I always try not to forget so that you can recreate this on your own. Tonight I had noticed, I had put in the notification or the description that these are duplicatable cards. I really believe they're super easy and duplicatable. This is crumb cake, and this is a 3 by 4 1/4. And then we have another piece of vanilla, which is 4 by 2 3/4. Okay, we're going to be stamping on this. I also have some scraps here that we'll be stamping our flowers on. I've already made a bow, and this is from the 23, 25 to 25 in color twine. Jute trim, actually, not twine. Twine is more fine and little, but or skinnier, I guess, not as heavy feeling. But that's what we've got right here. Okay. So we're going to be using that bow. I'm just going to stick it over here out of the way, and then of course I have an envelope that we can stamp on too. All right, so what are we stamping on? The first tip I'm going to share with you is about this flower. Okay, can you see that where I punched and it did not line up at all? Okay, so I'm like, okay, I cannot guess every time that I go to use this, so I want to make sure that I do this the right way. So what I did is I took my stamp, all right, and I put it inside right here, actually, to make sure that it fit. This is the correct way that it fits into where my punch is going to punch this out. And then I took a permanent marker, and you see that little black dot? That tells me that I need to stamp this with the black dot up at the top so that when I punch this out of the paper, it's going to punch correctly. I might have to shift it a little bit left or right or so, but it's going to, these little divots, see the little divots right there, and in the stamp set itself, those will line up. So I hope that will help you when you're using this stamp set with your punch. All right, so let's go ahead and use Moody Mauve, and let's just see how this works. Now, I really think that I did it correctly, but we're going to start on this piece in case I didn't, but I'm pretty sure I did because I really played with it. So let's ink this up, okay, and I'm going to stamp that with my black dot up here at the top. Then I'm going to take my punch, and let's see if I did this correctly, okay. So when I place this in here, I'm going to, it's hard for me, I think I'm going to have to stand up in order for me to see this and hold it up here at the same time. So what I'm trying to do, see how I'm getting these little divots where the divots are? I don't know how else to say it. There. Let me get this like that. Okay. Can you see? I know, there we go. It's there, it's better. So I did it correctly so that these little points go into the divots of the flower. There you go. So there is a huge tip to help you to make sure that you've got your flower correct every time that you stamp it. because you want it to, because when you punch it like this, you know, here, you want it to be correct. So I'm going to go ahead and I have a scrap paper here because I don't have the chamois that wet that you can wipe off the glass mat, so I'm still using my paper just because that's what I like to do. All right, so I'm going to make sure my black dot is at the top, ink this up, I'm going to stamp it off, and I'm going to do a lighter color, and I'm going to have a little variation in my flowers, okay? So I ink that up, and I want another solid, and then since I stamped it on here once, I'm going to go ahead and actually I'm going to do this so it's easier for me to punch. You'll see what I mean. Another light. So I've got 2 dark and 2 light. See that? All right. So that's what I've got right now. Switch this out. Let me get my cleaner and clean this off. Have you guys ever done what I was talking about? Like, it's not lining up. When we had another flower that was very similar to this, that had like all different designs, I had to do the same thing with that flower in order for them to come up and work out correctly. So, hi Jan. Good, I'm glad that's a good tip for you, Carol. Okay, let's go ahead and punch these out. And I'll scrap down here. Okay, so this is the one that I had punched last. Now see the reason I did it on the end? Otherwise, after I get these other ones punched, I don't have anything else to hold on to if I were to punch it over here on this end. So I just turned this around and put it on that corner. So let's go ahead and I will bring this up to show you. But I want to make sure that it's got the right, see there, it's lined up. Okay, so there's 2 flowers. So now I'm going to turn this back around, come over here, and let's punch this one. So another tip for you is always have your punch, look at your punch. Look at your punch before you actually stamp your image so that you know you're stamping your image the way the punch actually, what do I want to say, the angle of your punch. Okay, all right, and see, I just have to slide this over, and I have one more, and let me get it lined up. Okay, and yeah, sometimes it makes a little bit of a mess because you've got all these other punches here, and it might catch on the paper that you're using. Okay, so there's my 4 flowers, and move that over here. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to bring in this right here because I'm going to be stamping off the page a little bit. We're going to move this flower off of here. We're going to put our word. We're going to stamp our just a note. That is going to be in the garden green. Hi, Joanne. Welcome. Hi, Linda. You made it. All right. All right, just a note is in garden green. You'll have to go back and watch the replay if you didn't see the tip on the punch and how to make sure that your flowers are stamped correctly so that the punch works good with them. All right, the word just a note is going to kind of go up here at the top of my vanilla in the garden green, right up there. And again, I need to clean this as I go. Okay, so I have my Super Saturday coming up, and so I have all my blocks. I'm ready, and I have all my blocks. Very few. This is like the only little one that I have that doesn't have stamps on it for Super Saturday. Now I don't know if you guys saw this. I did put a post out there. I wasn't sure how it was going to go for me to be able to be here this evening because after I have been home, working from home since March of 2020. And some of the head honchos have decided we don't have a choice anymore. We have to go into the office now 2 to 3 days a week. Although our production has been better being at home. So many things I could say, but my life is changing once again. Now, after 4 years, I am going to have to go back into the office 2 to 3 days a week. And who knows? You never know if they're going to say, okay, everybody's coming back full time. And then that's really going to, I got to adjust things again. All right, so I need to move my ink over here so that I can get to it better. So I'm just using garden green, and all I'm doing is I'm going to make a field of leaves, right? Let's see, Gian, I've made a template for those punches that don't line up easy. Yes, you can make a template also, but yeah, so sometimes there are some that actually are a little harder to work with. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and do full strength there. Okay, now before I'm going to do some variation in color, so I'm going to come down here and I'm going to, let's do just another color down at the bottom, just a variation. So we have light and dark. I'm actually going to, let's do this, and I'm going to go like that. I want another one right here. Let's ink this up full strength. I'm going to come up here just a little bit and then ink this up. Let's stamp it off. Let's give ourselves some more two-tone color here. And I'm angling this so I get more of one or more of the other, just to kind of fill this in. So I'm going to stamp this off again and come right there. I think I need another dark one in here. Yeah. And then one more. I need more dark there. Okay, so here's what we have. Looks like a kind of a garden of the leaves, or, you know, what do I want to say? Not floating. Moving in the wind, I guess. That's the kind of look that it feels to me. All right, so we're done with the green on the leaf. Okay, so let's clean this up. All right. Let's go ahead and finish this little piece right here. So I'm going to go ahead. This is going to get mounted onto my crumb cake. Move this out of the way for a minute. And then again, this is just a 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Make that equal. There you go. Okay. Hey, Bobby. No worries on being late. I'm glad you're here. You'll have to go back and rewind after we're over with so you can catch the tips that I had for you when we got started in the stamping, okay? When I turned the camera down. All right, so there's that. So now let's go ahead. I didn't get this clean. You guys ever do that? I just like whipped it on there so fast I didn't look to make sure that I had it clean all over. There. Now I'm good. Okay, so there we are. So let's put these flowers on here, and I am going to pop every one of them up with my dimensionals here somewhere, right here. And I need to cut them apart a little more because I am at the edges, and so these are a little bit long, how I cut those. So, all right, so there's one. And again, I varied these in color just to give it a little bit of difference on my card. You could do them all the same color. All right. And let's grab this. Let me get all these off of here. What do we have? We have light, we have dark. What do we have? And there's the light and the other dark. Okay. So let's go with one down here. And then let's get a dark one kind of over here. And I'm kind of putting them at the tips of the leaves. I don't know. Just thought that would be good. Let's put the lighter color on the lighter little stem right there. And again, I probably should have done 5, but I think we'll be okay. I think this will be fine for what I want. Okay, so there we are. There is our kind of focal point. All right, now we're going to do something with this long piece on here, onto this vanilla, which is 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to move these over out of the way for a second, the base and the one that we just did. Now the Post-it note, I'm going to just grab a full-size Post-it note here. I'm actually going to cut this in half so that I have sticky on each one. I've got sticky here and sticky here. Okay, we're going to use Garden Green, and let's ink this up. Because it's a long stamp, I'm going to take my ink to my stamp, okay? You don't have to do it this way. I just find it easier for me, making sure that I've got the whole thing inked up. And what are we doing? Let me bring this back over here. We're going to take this piece. Let me come up here high enough so you can see. And what we're going to do is we're going to, I think I've shared this tip with you before, but sometimes you have a lot more on one edge of extra rubber than on the other. This one is pretty equal, and so when I look at my sticker, it looks pretty equal too, so it just gives me a visual of how far down my dots are going to be to the edge of my card, if that makes sense to you guys. All right, so let's take this stamp, and I'm going to bring it pretty close to the edge, and I'm going to stamp that down. I think I'm straight. Okay, see what I did? All right, I'm going to take this and turn it around. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. And want to try to get it straight again. And I'm going to come right down to the bottom of the paper, just like that. Oh, I did good. All right, see that? See what I did? All right, so now we're going to take the Post-it, and what I want to do is I'm going to block off where the dots are right here, and where the dot, this is a sticky, and where the dots are right here. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp this again. So ink up this stamp with my Garden Green, and now I'm going to go towards the end of the paper, edge of the paper, and stamp down. Ooh, I hope I didn't miss it. Oh, I did it. Okay. All right. Now, the reason I use the Post-it notes is, ta-da! Okay, there you go. So let's do it on the other side. Now, I'm going to show you one I did without the Post-it notes, and you'll see why I chose the Post-it notes. I do see that I'm a little crooked on that one, so that makes me sad, but it is what it is. Do you guys ever do that? I am not starting over. So, all right, so we need to go that way, and let's ink this up. Okay, and again, I'm going to come over here on this side, and I'm going to try to get it straight this time. Maybe if I put it on the line, that will help me better. Okay, there we are. Okay, down. Oh, that's much better on that side. Okay, so do you see what we have? We have this gorgeous polka dot frame on that card. Now let me show you what it looks like that I did without putting the Post-it notes. See the corners? They're ugly. That's my opinion. Right there. Because they overlapped, and I did not like that. Uh-oh. What is happening? My screen just went dim. I don't think it did for you guys, but I think it's on my computer. It's just my computer. Interesting. Okay. Oh, gosh, scared me there for a minute. I don't know what. I don't think I'm going to do anything. I think we're good. All right, because I can look on the iPad and you guys, it looks fine. So, all right. This is the one that I use the Post-its for. So, yeah, I think I'm okay. You're right, Nancy. It is handmade. You're right. You're right. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead. I guess, you know what I'll do? Let's go ahead. Because I'm only doing 2 cards, let's go ahead and put something on our envelope. Let's just put a stem there. And let's go like that. Just put a little greenery there. And then let's turn it over. Let's do the same on the back. Actually, let's do this, and I'm just going to go here and there. Okay, so there's a little pretty on the back side and the front side of the envelope. Okay, I'm not going to put a flower though. I think I'm just going to do the greenery. All right, clean this off one more time, and then we're going to put this together. So there is a tip, actually 2 tips for you. So hopefully those were good things for you. So let's go ahead, let's put this down. I'm going to leave that long when I didn't clean it, did I? But let's put this down onto our card and look what happens. It really does look magical because this just fits right inside, and it looks like I have a beautiful designer paper here. Let me come over this way a little bit. Just like that. Look at that. Doesn't that look cool? It looks like it's a piece of designer paper behind, and you've stamped 4 times, right? So there's a tip. I have not seen anything that looks like this with this particular stamp set. Have you? If you have, let me know, because I have looked and I have not seen anything that looks like this kind of feel, I guess. So, thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. All right, so this is going to get mounted. Now, you could pop this up if you wanted to. I guess I should have popped up this, but we've got the flowers are popped up, and if you're going to mail it, you know, you don't want too much height on it. But look at that. Isn't that just looks really pretty to me. Of course, you can do this in any color that is your desire. Is that the $100 set in the celebration? Yes, Taryn, it is. Thanks, Joanne. Thanks, Carol. Everybody, I appreciate you sharing that you liked this. I'm so happy. The last thing we're going to do, though, is we do need to add some butterflies and our little bow here. So let me grab my mini glue dots, and I've already got my bow tied here. So let's put that on here. Push that down. Come on. There. And I just thought it needed kind of a bow up here in the corner. I just thought that was kind of cute to kind of go with the rest of it. You don't have to if that's not your thing, but I just thought that added that little extra. And I do have the butterflies, the gold butterflies. I thought those would go nice here. Now you could add a gem in the center of these, but you know what's just as pretty is to take your Wink of Stella and just give it a little bit of sparkle. Actually, I bet I could just do the whole flowers. Aren't they pretty? All right. Wink of Stella is one of those things that you really need in your stamping, basic stamper kit, because you never know when you want to add a little sparkle to something, right? Okay, just got one more here. And then we're going to add the butterflies, and this card is complete. All right. Thank you, Sue. Let's see. Can we get the shine? Oh, look at that. Look at that shine. Okay. Pick tool. All right, let's get a couple butterflies here. Let's get one of the larger ones, and let's put that over here like they're flying away. And the little one kind of down here. And I think that's all we need with the bow. I think we only need 2. All right, there you go. Card number 1. You guys like that? I like it. You are welcome to copy my design. Always, always, no matter what I do. You do not have to give me credit. You can just do your thing, because if I put it out on the World Wide Web, it's for anybody to use. Okay? So there you go. I wanted to throw that out there. Oh, thank you so much, guys. All right, let me get some things out of the way. We're going to go on to the next card, and this one is going to use a product that I have not shown in a couple years, I think, actually. So I thought it was time to pull it out. Oh, A+. All right, I love it. All right, I got to get this clean because I'll be in trouble otherwise. Okay. These long ones are a little trickier, you know, just because they're long. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so let me move all this stuff and bring in the next batch. Put that up here so I don't forget where it's at. Okay, so the next card I am going to use the Softly Sophisticated. This is another one that is in the Celebration catalog. It does have words, and it is $100. It also comes with an embossing folder. So you get the stamp set and the embossing folder. If you've spent the $100, this one is really great value, having the embossing folder along with the stamp set itself. So what we're using is, we're going to be using the Artistic Mix Decorative Mask. And they are in the main catalog, and right here on page 136 there are a couple different ones. Okay, so you've got number 4 up here, and those are called 4 square. So they're 4 masks, one of each design, and it's a $10. And then you have this one, number 3, and there's 5 masks, one of each of 5 different designs, and that one is also $10. So we're using this one, number 3 on page 136. We're going to use that. There's so many ways. I probably should do a technique class on how, you know, the different ways that you can use these masks. One of them is using the paste. That's really messy. So I'm not going that route tonight. What we're going to do is we're going to bring in a color I don't use much, which is Blackberry Bliss, a blending brush, and we're using fresh freesia, and then I've got these pieces here. Now, I do already have these 2 pieces done, so I'm going to put those up here out of the way. I have also used this beautiful Thoughtful Expression dies. Okay, you guys, these are standalone dies. Look at these, all of these dies that come in this stamp set, this die kit. Now, there are, let's see, I won't be able to use 1, 2, 3, 4 of these dies, but it doesn't matter to me because I have all of these, and these flowers and leaves. So this is worth purchasing just the die set. If you don't need a hummingbird and you don't want that, this is great. Or another thing, if you don't need the sentiments that are in that stamp set that coordinates with this, this is what you need. This is item 162821 by itself, just the dies. And those you can find if you're watching this as a replay or later. You know, this is the mini catalog has items from January through April, where Celebration is only January and February. But here's the deal. You will go to the back, because I have no clue what page it's on. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you guys. Let's see. Couple ways you can do this. You can look through here where it's a bundle, and actually it's right here. It is on page 62. So let's just go to 62 and check that out. That way you can see the stamp set. This is the stamp set that it coordinates with, but if these are sentiments that you really don't care for, these dies are awesome. The dies by themselves are $37. The bundle is $55.75. So there you go. Wanted to just share where you could find that, right? I don't know if I held that up far enough for you to see the, I'm just looking back on the iPad. So when I look straight on at you, this is real-time live. When I look over here on the iPad, it's a little bit delayed because it's on Facebook. So that's why you see me going back and forth. All right, so let's see. What do we have? So here's what I was sharing. We've got that gorgeous flower. We have one of the smaller, the smallest of these dies right here. And this is white. This is blackberry. Garden green and garden green. This one and this one. That's what we used. So I have those done already, and I'm going to put them up in here in my safe area. And then I have 3 pieces. I have, my card base is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5 and 4.5. This is going to be one of the book binding cards that I shared last week, but this will look different than what I shared last week. So, okay, so there is your card base. Then these pieces are varying in the sizes. So this is fresh freesia. So we have fresh freesia 3 by 3. We have blackberry bliss 3.5 by 3.5, and I believe this is 4 by 4. 4 by 4. Garden green. That's our colors. So we're going to set all these aside for the moment. This is the piece that we need. We're using this particular mask out of the set, and you can see I've already kind of done this a little bit. So I'm going to take this, and since I'm going to have adhesive on the back of it onto my layers, I put a little bit of adhesive on the back, and I laid this down. Now, here's the thing. If you don't mind getting messy on here and just wiping it all off, you don't need this extra paper. You can do it right on the glass tray or the glass mat if you have this, okay? If you are thinking about signing up as a discount shopper, this is a free choice that you can get if you sign up January and February. You can choose this, it's a $60 value, or you can choose to get $30 more product in the starter kit value. So anyway, just throwing that out there. And if you have questions on anything, I'm happy to answer them for you. Okay, so I've got a little adhesive on the back, and that's just simply going to hold this down for me right here. All right. I don't know what it got on there. Well, that's weird. It's like green in the paper. I don't know. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so I'm laying this down, and you can see that I have some washi tape that's going to hold this down for me right here. Let's take our Blackberry Bliss. How many of you use Blackberry Bliss very often? I would be curious to know. So I'm just going to take this and rub my, up here, there you go, rub my brush across. There is ink, because see here when I, watch, if I tap that, see how heavy that is? See how heavy it comes off? So I'm just going to lightly start rubbing, and I'm just going to start on one corner and then just keep going around until it looks like I've got coverage on my paper. Now I'm just going to keep doing this until I have my desired, you can see it, I don't know how well you can, I'm looking, yeah, I can see it on the iPad, how you can tell the difference, then where you've got it and where you don't. And that's okay if you have varying colors. That's what makes it interesting. Even if you don't, so it's not all the same, what do I want to say? stenciling on the paper, I guess is the right word to say. Okay, I have it all done. Now I just want to tell you, I have a piece here that's 1 inch by I believe 5.5 or 4.25, and I already did a section of this and then cut it into a 1 inch strip, but that's the look that it's going to give us. So let's go ahead and close this up for the moment. How do you clean this off? You can rinse it underwater. You can take, your chamois and wipe it off if you want to. I think the easiest way is to take it and wash it under the sink. Okay, so there is my stenciling, and here we are, and you can see how there's variation in the color. That just depends on how much color you put on there as you were blending. How many of you like using the blending brushes, whether it's on a mask or something else? You know, there is a stamp set that's in the mini catalog right now that's pretty amazing with, oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. I hate when that happens, but it'll come to me. Oh, Enduring Beauty, I think it's what it's called. Yeah, there are masks that were like our sunflower that we had in the past. I don't have that one. I didn't get that bundle to try, but I've seen some beautiful things, and it's just layering the different masking sheets to create a dimension in your blending. So awesome. All right, so what am I doing? I am going to take this and I'm going to bring this over to the left. Okay, so this is one, usually I'll put it in the middle so it's all the way around. I'm not doing that. I am coming over to the left just a little bit so that there's just a little bit. See how it's off-centered? That's what I want, okay? Then I'm going to take the blackberry, and that is going to do the same similar. You love the brushes, Linda? You like the blend? Okay, good. That's awesome. All right, so same thing. I'm just going to have a little bit over here on the left and having the extra around the top, bottom, and the side. See that? Just gives it a whole different look. This guy right here, I'm going to put this on our 1 inch scored area on our card base. Okay, so you can see see the score line right there. So all I'm doing is taking this and I'm putting it at the very bottom, and I'm centering this in that 1 inch area. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and you want to make sure that you're between the score here and here when you put that down. This is going to go onto our front of our card base. And I want the skinny area, see this side, I want the fuller area to the right. And that's going to come over closer to the score than, we're bringing this whole larger area, larger mat, all to the right, skinnier to the left. You guys follow me? All right. Let's do some more stamping. I said we were going to be using this one right here. And I really appreciate you. You're in my thoughts. Or even hello there would work too. I think I'm going to go ahead and, I think I'll do I really appreciate you. And nope, that's the thoughts. Here's the appreciate, and get my one block that I have here. Put that down, and we're going to use blackberry. But you know, you would think that as dark as blackberry is, but look how light that came out, even though it's blackberry. So try things, you know. Don't just automatically think, oh, that's too dark, I can't do it with that. You know, do a little testing on a scrap and see what you think. All right, so I really appreciate you. Let's make sure that I get this straight. Let's see, I got to get right on top of it, you guys. So there we go. Just like that. And let me clean this off. All right. And then let's finish putting this all together. All right. So, this particular card, okay, see, that's where it was scored. So that is where it's going to, we're going to glue this together right in here in just a minute. All right, we're going to take this, and this is going to go on with dimensionals. So let me grab those, and I can use the bigger pieces on this one because this is a bigger piece. So there we go, and there we go. This is actually going to go kind of right off the edge here. See why I wanted this to have a little bit extra space. Let's see here. Yeah. Just trying to decide where I want it to be. Okay, about right there. Okay. All right. And then next, we've got this awesome little flower. And we're going to use a mini dimensional for this one. And put that right in this fat area where it won't show. So there we go. And I'm only using the one. Now, in this flower, there are some shorter loops or petals and longer petals. I'm going to go for the shorter ones. Thanks, Jeanne. You use the sponges a lot? Yeah. Sponges really do give it a different look, just like sponge daubers will give. So the old sponges that we used to have, the round ones that we would cut in little triangles, and then the sponge daubers will also give it a very different look than the blending brushes or the quarter or whatever pieces of the sponges we used to have. All right, so I'm just looking for, like, right here's a shorter section and a shorter section. What I want to do is I want to overlap this, let me see, onto my, there, that looks good, onto the white. All right, so I'm going to overlap onto the white right there, and that'll go here. Next, I'm going to take this funky looking piece, and I actually need my silicone mat because I'm just going to use my adhesive on the more full leaves, on the back of these full leaves instead of the open ones. Okay, and then this one, I'm going to, see how it kind of curves right here? See how it kind of curves? I'm going to take that and I'm going to just kind of curve it around one of the flowers here. Do I want to go up there? No, or one of the petals rather. That's what I meant, petal, not flower. So that it kind of fills right in there. See that? And then our little tiny guy, same thing, I'm just going to put some adhesive. Now, if you're a liquid glue person, you know, that works perfect too. And then this one, I'm just going to kind of shove up in here to come out like right there. Okay, so there we are. How easy is that? I will tell you though, I am going to use liquid glue and I'm going to use that here into the area where I have to connect it to create that book binding type of fold. This is a super easy fold and it just gives a different dynamic depending also on what your you know, what design you want for the front. Maybe you need a smaller space for what you want to design instead of the whole 5.5. See? Okay, let's get that. Make sure that's good. And then last, we're going to go ahead and put some gems on here. And the gems that I have are the iridescent pearls. So let me find those right here. Of course, rhinestones would also be beautiful here. We're just going to use the pearls. And then, oops, I'm pulling them off of the thing here, Barb. There. All right, let's grab, I want one of the big ones, bigger. There's only 2 sizes here, but I want one of the bigger ones to go right here on the flower. And then I'm going to go ahead, these 2 that I kind of smushed over to the side, I'm going to go ahead and put one there. And I'm going to, let's see, put one over there. And I think that's it. I don't think I'm going to put any over here. But there you are. There you can see the pearls there. So there is my card. Now this happens to be, we had our swap, and our swap for January was any technique. And so my technique is using the mask. And this was my swap card for the month of January. I'll show you a couple other cards that I got in the swap of some different other techniques. But yeah, there you go. Pretty. And then of course if it was a darker card, I mean this is going to work out just fine, stamping blackberry right onto the freesia. I think it would work just fine. So there you go. There's card number 2. Let me show you a couple swaps with some techniques. This swap right here, I don't know if I showed you this already. This one is from Nancy, and this is using marbling, the marbles. Remember how we used to have the plastic cases for our wood stamps? That was beautiful. There was one size that's awesome for doing the cards of about this size right here. And this technique, I'll have to do this on a live. It's pretty easy. I'll have to show you guys how to do it. And you can do one color, multicolor. It's pretty easy. You need some marbles though. That's the key. You need some marbles. But yeah, this is using the Softly Sophisticated that we used the sentiment from. Isn't that pretty? That's the marble technique. And then this one is from, that one's from Nancy. Did I say that? That's from that's Nancy's card. This one is Taryn's card, and she did the alcohol markers on vellum. Am I correct on that, Taryn? I think you're on here. I believe that you use the alcohol markers on vellum. And I think this is from the lavender set. I'm not sure where the hello, what's the hello from? Anyway, I don't know. But she used the iridescent pearls too. I just realized that. Yes, okay, alcohol markers on vellum. Look at the variation in that coloring. Isn't that awesome? That was her technique. And then this technique is masking. So it would, the flowers are masked off, and then Sue, Addie, is the one that did this card right here. Now, I know there were a couple other ladies that swapped, but I don't seem to have their cards. Possibly, I think I might actually have 2, actually, right here, I think. I'm not sure if this was Linda's for January. I'm pretty sure this was from January. I think it was embossing. She did heat embossing and she did folder embossing, I think. Not positive. But I know it's Linda's. And then this one is Maria. I don't know if Maria's on here or not. She sometimes comes and watches the replay. But she did the, what's it called? The faux shutter or fractured card, some people call it, using the daisy set. That's really pretty. So there you go. And that's what I have for you tonight. I hope that you guys learned one little tip out of all that stuff, right? So here is the card number 2 that we did. And card number 1 I put over here out of the way because I was afraid it was going to get messed up. Okay? Alright, so there is card number 2. Or card 1 and card 2 that we did. How do you like them? Which one's your favorite? 1 or 2? Tell me which one you like the best. I would be curious to know. Thanks, Taryn, for helping me out. I thought it was Linda's January card. Tell me what you think. 1 or 2? Which one do you like better? 2? Okay. I see a vote for 2. 1, 1. You like them both. Thank you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, I hope you guys try one of these techniques. I think they're pretty cool. Sometimes teaching specific techniques take a little longer than just stamping and putting a card together. So I'm hoping that I can try to incorporate more techniques with you, because there's so many out there, along with doing the classes that are free with a purchase. So 1, both, you like them both. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that you guys like the cards. Thanks, Joanne. You like number 1. I like it too, and I was really debating when I did this, should I put a gem in the center or not. Let me show you. This was my sample when I started out, and I did all of these in the dark. I did these in the dark, and then I did, you can see the difference. So I've got the variation and then all dark. So yeah, it'll look a little bit different depending on what colors you use, and if you use the light and dark, that kind of thing. So, all right. Thank you guys. I don't know. I don't think that there's a, maybe I see more 1s than 2s in the liking, but most of you said you like both. You guys are so sweet. So, all right, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and, you like the techniques, Diana? Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and turn this back up to me, my face only, and just tell you guys thank you again for being here and taking the time with me this Thursday evening. I'm thankful I got to be here. And just look for more tips and tricks as I continue on my Thursdays. And then just the classes, I'll have links. Then when those come up, I'll have links in the Stamp with Barb for you to take a look at. So, all right, you guys, have a wonderful evening, the rest of your weekend, and I will see you next week. And if I can help in any way, I'm right here. Just let me know what I can do for you, okay? Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.